Hello there, how are you doing? Now welcome to this second part of the interface. Okay, so in our application we need to make sure that basic and premium they have access to this person class. Okay, so how do we fix that problem? It's pretty easy. What you can do is class basic implements customer. Not just that it can implement, it can also extend at the same time. Okay, so what you do is class basic extends and we want to extend to person, right? So let's do person and implements customer. You can leave it as it is. Okay, so this way we can extend to another class as well as implement the interface. Okay, so we this way we can extend to another class as well as implement the interface customer. Okay, so it's pretty awesome. Now that we have extended to person, let's give it a try. This method we had error before because we're trying to get the first name which is in the person and there was no way we could access that. But now that we have extend, let's give it a try. Save. Okay, person, we need to include this one, I guess. So and just simply paste and change this customer to person. Okay, now let's give it a try. Person.php line 31. Let's make sure we close this. This is the construct. Okay, so this construct, this ends here and right after this one. Okay, let's close that. Save. Also have to make sure that we do not repeat. When I was copy pasting, we already had this method here, so let me get rid of this one because it has been duplicated again. So first name, surname, get last ID, surname, again it has been repeated. Let me get rid of this. Get full name, get email, set email, say hi also has been repeated. Okay, let me get rid of this one referencing to parent. Okay, now let's save this one and refresh, and as you can see it's working fine. Now as you can see, these basic classes, this basic class, and we can do the same with person premium as well. Class premium extends person, implements customer, right? Now they're not only implementing the interface, they are extending to the person class as well. Awesome. As a result, from init.php we could get first name, we could get full name, all that. Okay, so these methods are defined in person and it works. Okay, that's great. So we learned how to implement the interface and at the same time extend to another class. Okay, now another important concept here, we saw this before, that one class can extend another class, right? Now with interface also that works. Okay, one interface can extend another interface. So what we just did is we implemented the interface and at the same time extends the person. But if you go to customer.php, it is the interface. This interface also can extends another interface. Okay, so another interface could have some other methods defined like so. So when this class extends to that interface, then those functions also will be mandatory to implement on these children components, the ones that are extending this customer interface. Okay, so similar concept. Before we know the class can extend from another class, in a similar fashion interface can also extend from another interface. Okay, so let's do this. Let's create another interface and let's name it pair. Okay, so the concept here is let's have this another interface, pair interface. So that would implement two methods. One is pay the amount, and another is extent of taxes. Okay, so these two methods we want to implement. So I haven't created this interface yet, but let's put it here anyway. Interface customer extends payer. Okay, this is the one we're going to create next. Okay, now let's go to domain. Now inside this domain folder, let's create this interface. Let's save this as payer.php. Okay, now let's give it a namespace of bookstore domain, same as the customer, same again, and then we define the interface pair, and we define the methods that we would want to force other classes. Okay, so we want to make sure that they implement this one. So public function, let's make this pay method. Okay, and let's also type hint. It will be a floating number type. Okay, amount. All right, now let's create another function, is extent of taxes. Okay, now these two methods we would like to add. So we created this interface. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to customer.php, and I have extended this interface. Okay, interface is extending from another interface. Now that customer has extended from payer, these basic and premium are forced to implement these methods. Okay, you got it right? Because customer extend from payer, as a result these basic and premium, they were extending person, they were extending from customer, but customer also extend from payer. As a result, they have to implement these methods as well. So pay and its extent of taxes. Okay, so let's do that in the basic and premium. Now let's save it just as it is, and let's give it a try. Let's see what error we get. Refresh, we're not getting an error. Let's try accessing one of these methods, for example pay. Okay, so let's give it a try. Init.php, and what I would like to do is var dump, and let's take this customer, first customer, and what I would like to say is first customer would like to pay some money. Okay, so it would pay, let's say 1000. It's a floating point, that's why I use this. Let's save this one and let's give it a try. Refresh. Okay, we get the error. The call to undefined method basic pay, so it doesn't know yet. That's because the children haven't implemented this method. They have to, because it's extending, but they haven't done it yet. So let's do that. So back to basic. So what we can do is down here we can write this function, public function pay takes the float, and it will return, let's return paying amount. Okay, so now in PHP, I'm sure you know you can use the variable inside the double quotes, not on the single quotes but with the double quotes. Okay, now same with another method, public function is extent of taxes, and this basic class, what we're going to say to the basic customer is we're going to say you gotta pay tax, mate. Okay, okay, so now that we have implemented these two methods, let's go and give it a refresh. As you can see, paying 1000. Awesome. So this is the beauty of interface. You interface and the abstract classes, they force the children to implement those methods. Okay, so why don't we do the same for premium as well? Let's copy, let's paste here. Okay, now in premium, let's make some small change. What we can do is, let's give him a nice message. Because he's a premium, he will be extent of tax. So don't worry about paying tax, you should be happy. All right, so let's try this another method as well. Now that we have implemented, let's come here, let's copy this, paste here. Now instead of pay, let's say is save this one, refresh. You gotta pay tax, man, because it's a basic customer. Now what if we instantiate a premium customer? Let's do that first. Premium customer, we need to import premium as well. Okay, so basic. Okay, now premium customer, new premium, and then let's change it to Jan. Okay, now what I can do is premium customer is extent of taxes. Okay, I need to make sure I have the underscore here. Premium customer, it's typo here, premium customer, save. Okay, we're getting this error because what we did here in premium is we extend, but we forgot to use on top. So let's do that. Customer, sorry, person. Okay, now let's give it a try, and as you can see, don't worry about paying tax for the premium user. All right, so you learn about interfaces. Interface can extend from another interface, the classes can extend from another classes, and at the same time extend from another interface as well. So see this dynamic. So all this, it can be very confusing when you're just starting, but just go through this maybe one more time. Just understand the basic concept. As the time goes on, it will make perfect sense, and you will be comfortable understanding these concepts. Okay, so these concepts can be quite complicated to sink into your brain for the first time. You know, as you continue to work along, as you work with frameworks, big frameworks like Laravel, all these becomes your second nature, and everything starts to make perfect sense over time. Okay, it just doesn't happen straight away. So if you don't get it 100%, don't worry, just know that interfaces are there so that any other class that implements that interface, they are bound to use those methods. So it's kind of like a contract, signing the contract, you know. So that's that. It's awesome dynamics of object-oriented programming, and this is the basic overview of interface. Now in the next lesson, we're going to talk about polymorphism. Okay, so I'll see you in the very next video. Thank you.